Because as you travel out, you go, well, I don't really have nothing to talk about because I am privileged. And I would have to say this, never feel guilty for the life that you have.
Thank you.
Let's just be honest. If you was white, would you feel as guilty?
No.
So why you feel guilty?
Exactly.
Let's just call it what it is.
Exactly.
If you was white, would you actually feel guilty that you got a better education than somebody else? You wouldn't even think about it.
Just the expectation of you being black, you shouldn't have that. I think that's what it comes down to. Sometimes it's black people telling me that I should feel bad. And I'm just like, why? Because it's kind of like the sense like they don't have it, so
why would you say that? I mean, why would you even think that? Okay, I mean, I get it. Everybody may not have what everybody else have. I understand that. But then everybody don't understand the struggle or the sacrifices that parents had to make so that way their kids can have the better opportunity than they did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I told my kids, and I can't remember whether it was Devon or Deanna, but when I started after high school, I went to a community college, never liked school. This wasn't me. Just didn't like school. Years later, when I had Devon and Deanna, I went back to school. And I was ready. Mentally, I was ready.
Okay.
So I took my accounting class, which was very interesting, passed it, good. But then I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I stopped going, but I went back to school.
Okay.
And I stuck with it because I felt like I need my kids to see the sacrifices that I'm making. So that way they don't have to go through it. You know what I mean? So staying up at 3 a.m, doing a paper, crying when my right eye was about to go blind and I couldn't see and taking a law class for HR. You know what I mean? So I can't remember which one, but one of them got up and I was in the TV room literally crying. As I'm crying, I'm plugging away. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I said to my kids, that's why you don't have a decision whether you're going to college or not. You're going. Because what I'm going through right now, I don't want them to go through. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times people will look at the now. And when I say now, I'm talking about Devon and Deanna. If you look at the now, oh my God, you're privileged. It is. But you don't know what the parents went through so she can have what she needed. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever, and I just got done with the segment, so little promo, there's an iceberg analogy story that I'm about to post very soon. Have any one of y'all heard about the iceberg story? You just described it.
Yeah.
So the iceberg analogy is what we see on the top. Success. We see the cars, we see the clothes, we see the privilege, stuff like that. But we don't see the sacrifice underneath. We don't see the hard work, the crying, the sacrifice, the doubt, the tears, the late night. They don't see that.
They don't see that.
They just see, they live in West Hartford. Oh, they can do that. She can do this. She can do that. But they don't know how big that massive land is underneath that water.
Yes. And because how big it is, look what happened to the Titanic.
And it's funny you said that. I said that in my I was like, to put in a bigger picture, the Titanic was sunk by an iceberg because they only saw this part.
That's right.
They forgot what's underneath the water.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't understand it. People thinking that, oh my gosh, you guys got this, or you guys are bougie. And that's not the case. But when you want what you want, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with your kids feeding off of what you have. I don't see it. I think any parent that sits here and like, no, you're going to struggle like I did, you need to check yourself.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Let me, I'm about to put my phone on. I will hope no parent want that because
I've heard it.
I get the struggle. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I will allow my daughter to struggle to a point.
Right.
Like, in the struggle, you find yourself. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't give you everything.
Right.
I can't be like, I work so hard. Here you go the keys. Do whatever you want. No, I'm gonna show you. That's one thing that Jessiana saw every step of the way. Like we was talking earlier today. Like she saw me when I was in South Windsor. She don't really remember when I was a truck driver, but I try to tell her story. Like you understand, Daddy wasn't always doing this. Like Daddy was actually working at one point. Like truly working for somebody else. Like Daddy used to come home tired, sweaty, smelly, like just. And she looked at me like, I can't imagine you doing that. I like, me either. Yeah. That's why I don't do it. But like, I made it a point to have her see me work on my hands, like paint a wall or being on a phone call, like trying to set up deals and stuff like that. So she can see my work ethic. So whenever she wants to do something, I'm like, remember, I didn't sit on my butt and just demand people to do stuff. You might see that now, but just remember, just 20 years ago, or actually with her, it was just, honestly, just 5 years ago, she can remember, and she brings it up, like, remember when you had that studio on South Windsor? And it was like a little area. I'm like, yeah. And you saw how hard I worked to get to Glastonbury? She's like, yeah. And like, you see how hard I worked every single year and it was not different? She's like, yeah. And then I showed her this. She was like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. Like, you see how hard I work. Like, I don't play around. If I want something, I'm going to work tooth and nail to get it. But I would never sit there and say that my hard work is easy. Because it's not.
No.
It is by far.
But you're setting up the now for your daughter.
So and I told her, like, you don't have to do what I do. Just know now you got options.
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want now. Like, money now, between you and your mom, or me and your mom, you will never have to worry about money. I will make you understand money.
The value of it, exactly.
Like, but you would never have to do what I have to do or your mother have to do to get money.
Unless you choose
that's totally true.
You know, but people don't look at that type. People don't understand that. People just think that, you know, that whatever, you know, like I said before, you know, people's like, listen, I struggle, so you're going to struggle. So you're going to understand life. I'm sorry. Life is a teaching. You know what I mean? So when Deanna decided to go to an HBCU school, I was happy.
Right.
You know, but she never lost her identity. And I think a lot of time people will lose their identity thinking like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay, but do you know who you even are? Do you know who you are? Do you even know your history? Do you even know where you came from?
You said it, history. Most people don't know history.
They don't know.
Especially for us.
Exactly.
It's so hard.
Exactly. Why do you even want to go to HBCU school? For what? Oh, because that's where all the Black people go. Excuse me?
Do you know the history of the school?
Hey, thank you. But you do have some white people that go to HBCU schools as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, know where you want to go in life. Understand your path. So when she made the decision to go to the HBCU school, I was happy. And let me tell you why I was happy. Because she's so used to seeing this.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you're really going to see the other side.
You're going to see the other Black people.
Yeah, you're going to see the other Black people. Exactly. You're going to see the side where you have
Kool-Aid, cornbread. I'm like, but no, for real.
You know, you're going to see the side where, guess what? There's another woman just like you that think the way you think that's going to challenge you.
Yeah. And that's what you need.
Yeah.
You need people like you or better than you to like make you be better.
Exactly.
Always surround yourself with better people. If you're the smarter person in the room, get the hell out that room.
Yeah.
Like I tell, like that's one thing I cannot say. If I'm the smartest person in that room, I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry.
It gets boring after a while.
It does. It's because it's not a challenge.
It's not.
You know what I mean? I love when people debate with me. I love it because now I'm getting to know where you coming from. You know what I mean? So with Deanna, this was a challenge. She said, "Mom, I didn't." On the inside, I was like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Well, what are you struggling about?" Because I never knew it was like this.
I just knew one way because, like, again, growing up in a predominantly white area, I know one way, which is like get ahead because they want to get ahead. So I have to always prove my worth. Where if I go to HBCU, they're kind of just like, "What are you proving?"
Right?
Like,
you on the same
boat as us, sis, and I'm just like, "Hey, what? Like, you serious?" Like, I'm not used to that. I feel like at Hall, I always had to like prove, okay, like I'm smart. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I had to prove myself 24/7. And HBCU, it's not like that because honestly, like, you're Black and so is everyone else. What makes you so different?
Does that make you feel relieved or saddened to a point like they don't have the same drive like you?
I say relieved.
Okay.
Because like again, trying to prove to somebody that you are worthy enough and smart enough is draining. It's so tiring because you're just like, okay, I have to get up again and just do the same thing.
It's like prove yourself
because
I don't understand.
Because it's just going to the predominantly white school. Because they already have this idea of who you are.
No, I understand that portion of it. I understand that part of it. I'm talking about the HBCU school
because I'm not used to it. Like I wasn't like I had this whole mindset of like this is all I knew since I was 9 years old. So what's going to change now? So now going to the HBCU, I'm just like, wait a minute, like this is not how it is. And like, girl, no. And again, like they're so supportive. Where at Hall, It wasn't like that. It was kind of like I was the
that.
smartest in my friend group. Like I wasn't all in AP classes. Like I'm not bashing my friends; they are smart in their own way. But like when it came to like school, that was my area. Like history. When it came to history, English, like that was my area. Like they would come to me about anything and everything when it came to school. So going to a school now that's predominantly Black, and they're just as smart as me, I'm just like. I'm not used to that. I'm used to being the smart Black girl. I'm used to being the activist Black girl where literally I go to a school where we're all activists. Like, I'm not used to that.
Like, oh, damn.
Like, you agree with me? Like, Black lives do matter? Okay, bet. Like, I'm not used to
coffee?
that.
You want some coffee, girl?
Like, I'm not used to that. Or even, like, hairstyles. That was new to me.
What you mean?
Like,
What?
Like,
talking my language.
Having a queen come up to me and be like, girl, I like your hair. And me saying, thank you, and then walking away without her asking, "Can I touch it?" Don't ask me that question because you're not gonna touch it. Yes.
Is it yours?
See that part?
It just felt like family.
Look at you.
Yeah, it was
This one lady said to me, white lady came up to me and said, whispering, "Can I say something to you?" I'm like, "Sure." She said, "Is that your hair?" I said, "Yes." "Is that your hair?" "No, I just want, is it she said, is it
a weave?"
Yeah, I said, "Is that a weave or a cap? Is that your hair?" All of a sudden now I offended her. Well, you don't have to be rude. I said, no, I'm gonna tell you what's rude. Was rude that you think you could walk up to me and ask me that question and think I'm not gonna come back and say something to you.
Seriously.
That's rude.
Exactly.
That's rude. I said, but guess what? You got the right one. You got the right one.
Somebody would have cut you.
You got the right one. They feel so entitled to ask you any question. When you snap back at them, they're just like, "Why? Like, why are you angry?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm not angry, boo. I'm just saying, like, why are you asking me this question?" Even the teachers at my high school, legit, like, asked me, "Your hair grew overnight, didn't it?" I'm sorry, what? My hair grew overnight?
I had to check that teacher on that.
You know.
Your hair grow overnight. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
I'm just like,
it's.
That's why when it comes to HBCUs,
wow,
it's
they
family.
Understand. They understand. They get it.
Where I can wear a bonnet and them being like, "Yeah, you just chilling." I'm like, "Yeah, girl, what's up?" You know, yeah. I can just
speak the same language.
Exactly, like me saying like finna, and then people at hall being like, "What's finna?" And if I say finna to a Black person, they're just like, "I got you." I can talk my slang without being questioned of, "Oh, is that a new word?" Like,
yeah.
I'm not so guarded. Where like at Morgan, I can be me. I can say my own slang. I can the hairstyles. I can do Bantu knots, and them being like, that's cool.
I just did my own. I was happy. I sure did, y'all. I wrapped that bad boy up, and I was like, "Oh,
I see. What you speak about is something that I never experienced. Like I'm from the 80s. Like my whole education was surrounded by inner city or white kids. So, and I was always the smartest person. Even when I got into college, I still was the smartest person. I didn't get challenged until I actually got into my career. When I got around my peers and not everybody's doctors and lawyers, I'm like, oh, now this is the challenge. People question my theories, my motive, and I never got offended. I was looking for that. Like, bet, okay, we can have a debate. But it never came from a Black person, and that's something that I always missed until recently. I would say now in 2020, like because of COVID, a lot of people has been coming to me, and there've been a lot of our people, and a lot of men.
Wow.
A lot of men.
Wow.
And I'm really shocked. But as going to school being challenged, like I wish I had that. Like I wish I had somebody to challenge me and stuff like that. I mean, I always had to be on. Not the fact that to prove to my peers, but definitely to the teachers.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing.
You challenge the teacher. Yeah, now you're being to the principal.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you a question.
I can't tell you how many times I went to the principal. I went to the principal. I got expelled. I was labeled defiant.
Right.
Listen, I wish I was actually old enough to get a tattoo across my chest. I would have walked through school with my chest all out like, look at it, I'm defiant.
You know, that is true. When you challenge a teacher or professor, you know, when I was taking one of my classes, somebody had mentioned we were talking about diversity, and matter of fact, it was about the schools, and I don't know if the student was minority or not, I don't know, but she was like, yeah, these Uncle Toms, you know, and I'm like, ooh, and it triggered me because we're so used to people calling people Uncle Tom. Do you even know the truth about Uncle Tom?
I was about to say, like, do anybody know the truth about Uncle Tom?
Well, let me tell you something. He was not a traitor.
Good. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was not a traitor. And the thing about it is, if you knew who he was, you'd be very careful who you call Uncle Tom, because that's a compliment. That's not an insult. Hey. You know what I'm saying? So again, it goes back to knowing your history, you know? So when you know who you are, you know where you're going, you understand your struggle, and then you also understand the school system, how they try to put their foot on your neck, but you don't allow it because you know where you're going. You see what I'm saying? So, but you need, like my husband always said, you need that negative and the positive people in your life.
You do.
You know what I mean? And people don't understand. People say, oh my God, they're always negative. No, we're negative because we need to get you where you need to be.
I think it's being realistic.
Realistic and in what sense?
Like, not everything is negative. It's just the fact that you just gotta be real with yourself. Like, and some people are truly negative.
Yeah, you do. You can see it.
Truly negative, and it's like, girl, just back up.
Yeah.
But other people, I think when you have those true friends, people label them as negative, but they're just being realistic. Like me personally, I'm not a negative person. I just think logically. I'm realistic. If something is, I don't say all the time.
She's a Libra.
I won't say all the time,
Deanna,
but I'm just very...
Deanna, come on, let's tell the truth now. Let's be real.
You're a Libra, then I mean 95% of the time you lie.
Thank you. You say something, she got to come and say something else. But technically, girl, you come one more time with your dad.
Say that one more time.
I'm telling you, it's like, Deanna, I'm not going to debate with you right now. I'm not going to do that. But Ma, I'm just saying, no, you're not saying nothing right now.
Say it one more time. I'm gonna slice you.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm just saying, I think on my mind.
I would hope so.
It come out here, it comes here, and it comes out without you. No filter. No. Who got a filter? Okay, Ty.
I'm not even gonna comment. Now I don't got a filter.
We gonna change the subject to talking about lies now. Come on now. Okay.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
If you had a filter, then why would you challenge your professor when they said something? People have. Let me just say this: there's some things you need a filter on, right? Something you may think like, okay, let me process this so that way it comes out right. But then majority of the time, she would say something. She would say something. It's like, well, Deanna, did you think about how you want to deliver that message? No, because when they say this, I just came back on them like that.
Because what you're not about to do, let me question my intelligence.
Then that's what you're not about to do.
You're not going to tell me what I've experienced is wrong. That's what you're not about to do. So if you're bold enough to say it, I'm bold enough to give it back to you. I don't care how old you are.
Did I prove myself?
I'm just saying.
Did I just say that? Didn't I just say that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But you just denied it.
Don't question my intelligence.
But you just denied it. You denied it.
Anyways.
See what I'm saying? When I'm right, let's change the subject. Okay, go ahead, Tom. Sorry. We had a mom and daughter moment.
It's very good to be defiant. But I do also agree with your mom. Sometimes our mouth can get us in trouble that we should not be in. But I also agree with you too. Being Black, and especially being a Black woman, I can't speak of. A lot of people will test you.
Yes.
So
yes.
I do agree that you do got to stand your ground.
Yes.
But knowing how to fight is very, very important too. Every battle don't need to be fought.
Hello. Say it again, Tom.
So that's something I learned the hard way myself too.
I'm learning.
I know you are.
See, like I'm working.
Listen, and Ty is so right. But in order for you to understand and learn it, you know what I mean? You have to actually go through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so important that we learn to pick our battles. I mean, some things just need to be said. You know what I mean? Some things just need to be said.
Did be said at the time when she told me question my intelligence.
Well, that I don't disagree with you on that one. But what I am saying is that know who you're fighting against. Because a lot of times people will say things just to pick your mind, right? Mm-hmm. Well, let me see if I say this, will that trigger her? Y'all know what I mean.
Never give your energy away to somebody that can control you. Because if they can control you,
they got you. You're held in captivity. And that's what we're trying to get out of. You know what I mean? So many people are so smart, but they refuse to activate their intelligence because they don't want to be called out.
And that's something that I did. In high school, I call it dimming my light. I dim my light for my brother because I was always called the smartest one, and they never referenced him as his name was always, that's Ty's brother, that's Ty's brother. So I felt bad. I did. I felt real bad. So I purposely did things to not be the smart kid. I purposely not go for certain things that I know I wanted to do it, but I was like, that's going to make him look like he's even less than. So I just suppressed.
But did you feel that helped him or hindered him?
Honestly, don't know.
Oh.
And in that moment, I thought I was making the right decision, and that's the only thing I was going to go for.
Wow.
I mean, what really did it for me was a poem from Coach Carter that I love. And it's How Deep Is Your Feelings? Or I forgot how it goes, but it's from Coach Carter.
The movie?
Nope.
Oh yeah. I didn't talk about
Samuel Jackson played him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of my famous poems, and it basically talks about don't dim your light. Like you have to shine bright because your light is going to get beacon to basically somebody else.
Exactly.
When I heard that, and I saw Coach Carter so many times, but in that moment, in that day, like it hit hard. So I was like, I get this one time around. I mean, if he doesn't I think for me, it was like I saw the potential, and this is why I don't do this now. Not just with him, but with anybody. If I see the potential, I don't say nothing about it because I see it. That don't mean you see it.
Sure.
And if I want to bring it out of you, then I got to be your beacon. I can't do that. Like I can't hook up my battery pack to you every single day to supercharge you to bring out the potential that I see. If you don't see it, I can't make you do anything until you're ready to do it.
Process before you think.
No, I'm listening. That's why I said, see? And it's funny how you say that because I kind of agree, then I kind of disagree. Because, and the reason why the portion that I do agree with, because I shouldn't have to pump you for you to feel good about yourself.
That's right.
Right? I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, if that's a seed that is planted that just needs just a